And I think, of course, we want to kind of start at the core, which is diet, because diet's important in pretty much every condition that there is. And so I think when you think about both endometriosis and MCAS, something that will help both patients is to explore a low histamine diet. Now, you have to be careful because there is histamine in a lot of foods. And so you're always on the edge of not wanting to introduce a restrictive diet to the patient, which will then deplete their beneficial microbes, right? If you're taking away all the good foods, you want to really have a really great nutritionist and team on board to talk about what are the actual triggers within the histamine diet. And I would say that the one I'd really like to point out in diet is going to be red meat. So red meat has been shown to be something that has been associated with increased risk of endometriosis, as well as high in histamine. And that's because it has the amino acid histidine in it that, with the process of storing, preparing, cooking, keeping it, in the fridge, more and more histamine is created. And so we have this, again, phenomenon with the low histamine diet, that it's not even just a particular food. It's actually the fact that it's also going to be building in leftovers. And again, especially in ones like red meat. So, I think, although we live in this protein craze right now of everyone wanting to optimize their protein, but I think that one thing really important with patients who do have both endometriosis and MCAS is to see how they feel, how it affects their pain, if they really do limit red meat. So I think that's a big part of diet. And I think the other part is trialing a DAO enzyme. And this is not something that has a lot of research around it, but it can help break down histamine in food. So again, this is a thought that is in general very well tolerated. So it helps a lot of people. So they, again, don't have to be so restricted. They can go out, have a life, be social, because that's really what we want our patients to be able to actually enjoy life while they, figure out their health and on their healing journey. So I'd say that the next step we think about are natural supplements and treatments. And one that I find has been helpful to patients that I have who have both endo and mast cells is quercetin. So quercetin is a polyphenol blend. So basically it's a polyphenol is like a very anti-inflammatory plant substance that we're learning more and more about. It's kind of the reason behind the saying, eat the rainbow, right? Everyone's always like, well, why? What does that mean, right? It's because like plants of different colors have different polyphenols. And so the more, variety you have, the more you'll be exposed, and the bigger the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefit of all those substances. So quercetin is, again, something that's really nicely well studied. It's in our, we don't necessarily have a guideline in the GI world, but we have like some of the big specialists who've written, on some of their top recommendations, and quercetin is mentioned in those.